In this video, we're talking about the logarithm function. We're going to do a quick example here. So I have f of x equals log of x minus 2, notice that's in parentheses, plus 9 on the outside. So again, this is all the extra stuff, so that must mean my parent function is log of x. You'll remember that for a logarithmic function, we have a vertical asymptote, which is at x equals whatever that is, which means that affects our domain. So here, my transformation, because this is on the inside and it's negative, I know it goes right 2, and that plus 9 on the outside means it goes up 9. If you know what your logarithmic parent function looks like, then that helps. It should look like this. And since I moved right 2 and I go up 9, that means I have to go over 2 here. And if you remember from a logarithm, we actually start down slightly a little below 0. So I'm going to move up almost 9, but not quite. Not that that really matters. Alright, so here's my f of x, my transformed function. So if I look at the domain of my parent function, remember the domain is left to right. So starting on the left, I start right here, which is at 0, and I go to the right forever to infinity. Now my range, again, is slightly below the x-axis, but it's still at 0. And it's going to go up forever to infinity. That's my parent function, so that means my transformed function, because I moved right 2, that means my domain is going to change. Again, that also means my asymptote is going to change, because my parent function has an asymptote at x equals 0. But now that I moved right 2, my asymptote is at x equals 2, which means my domain must start at 2, and I go to infinity, forever to the right. My range here was from 0 to infinity, but because I moved up as well, my range now is from 9 to infinity. And that's for my f of x function. If I wanted to look at my increasing and decreasing intervals, you can see here that this doesn't decrease at all. It's always increasing. And it's always increasing starting, again, with the x-axis, so that means I start at 2 here, which also is my asymptote. So I'm increasing from 2 to infinity, which again matches my domain, just like it did for all my other functions that increased in one direction.